Good afternoon. Welcome to News at 2 on OGTV. My name is Okpeyemi Adeomi. The Ogun State House of Assembly at a sitting on Thursday, 4th of March 2021, has removed the Deputy Speaker of the House, Honorable Oludare Kadiri, from office. His removal was sequel to the submission of the ad hoc committee constituted by the Speaker to look into allegations leveled against the Deputy Speaker of gross misconduct leveled against him. The committee's report was read by the chairman of the committee and the majority leader, Honorable Sheriff Yusuf, seconded by Honorable Abayomi Fasua, who also tendered the report of 19 members out of the 26 members of the House who signed in support of the recommendations of the ad hoc committee report, which found him guilty of acts of gross misconduct and endorsed his removal. Another round of rehabilitation of primary health centers will commence with the hope that by May 2023, about 300 primary health centers will be renovated and well equipped. The governor of Ogun State, Prince Dapo Abiodun, disclosed this at a meeting with Transition Committee chairmen of the 20 local government areas of Ogun State. Governor's office correspondent Tunde Olaniro reports that the governor said the state is ready to receive the COVID-19 vaccine with equipment in all wards in the states. His reports.
Local government administration is geared towards bringing government nearer to the people at the most basic level. The importance of bringing government nearer to the people cannot be overemphasized. This translates to bringing service of great importance to the welfare and livelihood of the community. Such services have been delivered in the 20 local government areas of Ogun State, which has a high positive implication on the standard of living of the people at the primary level of administration. This is the testimony at the meeting of Transition Committee Chairman with the Governor of Ogun State, Prince Dapo Abiodun.
The average of projects about 3 from each of the local governments is based on homes, schools, hospitals, and we have in total 73 projects.
We have seen that there is a difference because about 3 or 4 of us have served with other administration before you, and we've seen the difference.
The chairman counted several projects in their council areas, noting that the local government is now functioning in Ogun State.
In Ogun East, for example, let's look at from Waterside local government where there was not even a block that was put on the ground in that local government in the last 8 years.
It will make people realize that local government can work the way they have been in the past. You have said it repeatedly during the campaign that you want to gear up the local government, and you have demonstrated that, sir.
They say we are not making noise, but I'm a communicator. You don't need to make noise, you only need to make impact. When it's time to make noise, we will make impactful noise and not aggressive noise.
The governor attributed the successes so far recorded by the current administration to the support of the people and the inclusive demeanor of his administration.
You will see that at the interchange, there's something going on at the interchange. I don't know for those of you who have seen it. There's a monument coming up there, there's a park coming up there. It's like a welcome center. We're calling it the Gateway City Gate. This is the first time I mention it officially because, again, you are the advocates of the building article together in local government. Gateway City Gate. So from that point, when you get there, you feel welcome. On your way here, for those that came from the east, I'm sure you would have seen what we're doing in Kobakwe. By the end of this year, I don't have a data, would have done probably almost about 1,500 or thereabouts affordable housing units in the state. And these are truly affordable housing units.
He noted that since the prompt intervention of the current administration to the farmers' herdsmen crisis, relative peace has been restored to the area, unveiling the further line of action.
Our Motepu will soon be launched. And because of the peculiar problem that we found ourselves in the Yewa, we are launching the Yewa Motepu first. We want want it to be clear that we are tackling this problem frontally. I've also told them to, just this week, to ensure that they intervene on the Papalanto to Ilaro Road, which has some failed areas. So you will see work begin in that area in the next maybe week or so.
Prince Abiodun said the state is ready to receive and administer the COVID-19 vaccine in the state, noting that the primary health center revolution is ongoing in the state.
We are fully prepared to receive the vaccines and actually commence vaccination. The entire cold chain that is required to kick vaccinations have been identified. In each of your wards, we have a refrigerator that is in good working condition to receive the vaccines. In every ward in the state. We actually have more refrigerators than the number of wards that we have. So we have those that are there right now, and we have the backup.
The current administration, according to the governor, is on a mission to rebrand the state, which is being done in infrastructure, housing, healthcare delivery, education, as well as social intervention in the 20 local government areas of the state. Tunde Olaniro, OGTV News.
Synergy and collaboration between the management of the Federal Medical Center, Abeokuta, and the government of Ogun State will help in the provision of adequate health care to the people of the state. The governor of Ogun State, Prince Dapo Abiodun, made the submission when he played host to the Board of Hospital Management Federal Medical Center, Abeokuta, in his office. Governor's office correspondent Tunde Olaniro again reports.
Ogun State is the industrial capital of Nigeria, the largest producer of poultry in Nigeria, the only border to the commercial nerve center of the nation, hence the need for provision of social amenities, especially provision of healthcare facilities. The exploits of the current administration in the healthcare delivery has not gone unnoticed, with the Board of Hospital Management of the Federal Medical Center, Abeokuta, commending the governor.
We would also like to thank you and appreciate you and commend you on the development projects, especially on health-related issues that you are on or you have introduced, especially between the state and the Federal Medical Center, Abeokuta.
The governor called for deeper collaboration between Federal Medical Center and the current administration in Ogun State.
We have a lot of people living here, and we must ensure that we cater to their health needs. So wherever it is we can find partnership in the area of health, we embrace it and we support it. I will expect that our role should be that which is complementary as against that which is competitive. But of course, it is healthy competition.
He also promised to make some amenities and logistics such as road network, water supply and power supply available to the hospital for smooth operation of the medical center.
The previous administration, in their wisdom, awarded contracts, road contracts, to contractors that destroyed the water reticulation, pipeline reticulation across the state, without having a clause in their contracts that ensures that they relay the pipes or relay new pipes, but without making any provision for such. So today, water supply in Abeokuta particularly is very, very bad, and many other parts of the state. We're just reviewing that, and we're working that out now. The contracts that this administration has awarded now have clauses like that embedded in it. If you can't on one part be improving a particular infrastructure and another part damaging another infrastructure. So we ensure that if you awarded a contract to fix a road or build something, any existing infrastructure there, you must restore it back to how you met it.
Federal Medical Center Idea Abeokuta is a notable federal hospital located in Ogun State to provide quality health care for the people. Tunde Olaniro, OGTV News.
Security agencies in Ogun State are said to work together to achieve the set goal of putting an end to security crisis facing the state, especially in the Yewa axis. Commissioner of Police Ogun State Command Edward Ajogun And other head of security operatives in the state confirmed this while briefing officers working with the newly set up Joint Security Intervention Squad in Yewa Axis. Elizabeth Esson was at the Ayetoro Area Command of the Nigerian Police, venue of the event. Our reports.
The situation has normalized.
CP Edward Ajogun addressing the Joint Security Intervention Squad in the Yewa Axis of Ogun State. Joined by heads of other security outfits in the state, CP Ajogun charged the officers to ensure they work as a team in order to achieve the set goal of Governor Dapo Abiodun. It will be recalled that following the recent security crisis in Yewa area, there was a security parley between Governor Dapo Abiodun and security chiefs in the state, which necessitated the handing over of patrol vehicles and motorcycles to further assist in surveillance and patrol of the crisis-prone areas.
Here to take off this Joint Security Intervention Task Force, as the name is called, to make sure that at least the peace that we are enjoying is further consolidated, and to ward off any attempt by either external forces to infiltrate and perpetrate crime in this, in any part of this Yewa land. And so I really want to enjoin all of us to see this particular mission as a common one and the objectives that we intend to achieve.
Going by the commercial activities on most routes in and outside the area, the CP enjoined the officers not to get carried away, but to be alive to the purpose of their posting to that area.
Stop and search, because this is a high risk, it's an assignment with some level of risk. Let me not describe the risk. So, but to further mitigate that particular risk, I want to plead with all of us that in this area, we have smuggling activities. So please don't be distracted. Don't be distracted by all those activities. We are not here for smugglers, but we are here primarily to target those people who are, causing problem between the communities here, banditries, armed banditries, kidnapping, and anything that has to do to bring problem between the herders and the farmers. That is what we are here primarily to ensure that at least we cleanse the environment of crime and criminality.
The Joint Security Intervention Squad comprises the Nigerian Army, the Police Force, DSS, NSCDC, SOSAVE, among others. Elizabeth Esson, OGTV News.
Still on security, the Peacekeeping Committee set up by the Ogun State government to find lasting solution to lingering farmers' herdsmen crisis in Yewa Axis of the state has visited Owode Ketu and Ijale Ketu on a fact-finding mission. The visit provided opportunity for people of the area to bear their minds on the causes of the crisis and the way out as they appeal to government for an improvement in the security of lives and property of affected communities. Matthew Shomi was part of the visit and brought this back. His reports.
Finding a lasting and amicable solution to the lingering farmers-herders crisis in the Yewa Axis of Ogun State, a peacekeeping committee was inaugurated on the 20th of February this year to look into the genesis of the crisis and come up with the best solution to the problem. The committee has since hit the ground running with a fact-finding visit to some of the affected communities in Yewa North local government area, which is also to assuage the fear of the people and assure them of the determination of the government to find a lasting solution to the crisis. The committee, led by its secretary, Mr. Olayemi Mudashiru, was received by the Transition Committee chairman of the local government, Babatunde Bankole, who led members to Owode Ketu, the first community to be visited. Here, palliative items were presented to the families of the two victims of the crisis. Baale of Owode Ketu, Chief Sonya Fabuyi, thanked the government for putting the committee in place and used the occasion to request that the schools relocated as a result of the crisis be returned to the original location for full academic activities.
The most progress-seeking people here, the most cooperative with all arms of government, all arms of anything progressive, we are.
The committee then visited one of the schools affected where normal academic activities have since returned. Representatives of the affected communities in Yewa North gathered in Ijale Ketu, met with the committee, and one after the other spoke on what they believe to be the genesis of the crisis. Onijale of Ijale-Ketu, Oba Alhaji Adeniyi Ojiro, called for urgent intervention of government to stop the crisis from degenerating further.
There must be law guarding them.
A member of Ogun State House of Assembly representing the area, Honorable Wahab Haruna, who is part of the visit of the committee and transition committee chairman of Yewa North local government, spoke on the outcome of the meeting.
I'm seriously happy about what happened, and you can see how our people will be happy too. About 2-3 weeks ago, there's nothing like that. Even you can't even enter this town and see anybody. Nothing I can tell them just to believe in what government is planning to do.
In the government to resolve the problem, because they themselves could see obviously that government is not biased, is not in favor of anybody, but rather is interested in that everybody live at peace.
The peacekeeping committee is to continue its fact-finding visit to other affected areas. Matthew Shomi, OGTV News.
The Ogun State government says it will not undermine the provision of affordable and qualitative education to its citizens, as it is a powerful weapon to the development of any nation. The special advisor to the governor on technical education, Professor Joseph Odemuyiwa, made this known while receiving a document requesting for the conversion of the Methodist Teachers Training College, Shagamu, to a vocational college by the president of the association in Abeokuta. Professor Odemuyiwa stated that the request of the association was in line with the vision of the state government in the provision of qualitative education for its citizenry, saying that it remained committed to quality education. He noted that technology has helped with the speed of light, adding that any society ignorant of it would not have a place in the emerging economy of the international markets.
Those people within you, they need to be very comfortable to relate with you, especially that you are pursuing a vision that has to do with what government is all about. Government is about developing the citizenry. It's about thinking about the future of the government.
Presenting the document, the president of the association, Pastor Adeleke Odwayo, said the education has important roles to play in human endeavors, noting that no government will sit on the fence while considering the education of its citizenry. He appealed to the present administration, led by Prince Dakwa Abiodun, to come to their aid in converting the facility lying fallow to a vocational college, saying that would help in keeping the youths off the streets. The Minister of Health, Dr. Osage Ehanire, has convened a meeting with commissioners for health in the 36 states as part of efforts to ensure effective sharing and distribution of COVID-19 vaccine. The Plateau State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Nimongla, and his counterparts in Cross River State, Dr. Betta Edu, said the meeting would hold today in Abuja. It was gathered that some commissioners met the federal government officials on Wednesday over the distribution of the vaccine. Nigeria on Tuesday received 3.94 million doses of the Oxford AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine, becoming the third African country to benefit from the COVAX facility after Ghana and Ivory Coast. COVAX is an initiative co-led by the Vaccine Alliance, Gavi, and the World Health Organization, seeks to ensure equitable access to a COVID-19 vaccine by dividing about 2 billion doses across 92 low and middle income countries. Still on health, the Minister of State for Health, Olorunimbe Mamora, has said COVID-19 vaccination will not be mandatory in Nigeria, adding that nobody will be forced to take any vaccine. Nigeria has received nearly 4 million doses of COVID-19 vaccines shipped via the COVAX facility, a partnership between CEPI, Gavi, UNICEF, and WHO. Nothing will be made mandatory. It's optional. The choice is yours. Nobody will be forced to take any vaccine, he said. When asked if it might become mandatory further down the line, Mamura said if that happens, it would not be a decision of Nigeria. He said that just as one can travel to some countries without having the yellow card certificate, countries might have to start demanding a COVID-19 vaccination certificate before allowing outsiders in. He said Nigeria may be influenced by a demand by countries for a certificate of vaccination, adding that it may just be something that will become a global thing. And in Zamfara State, the Zamfara State government has imposed a curfew on troubled Jangebe town following civil unrest after the return of the abducted schoolgirls. A statement issued by the State Commissioner for Information, Sulaiman Tanau Anka, said the decision was taken so as to prevent any further breach of peace. Similarly, there is strong evidence of market activities in the town that aids and abets bandits. Activities in the town and neighboring community, consequently, all market activities in the town have been suspended until further notice. After 6 days, the Amalgamated Union of Food and Cattle Dealers of Nigeria and Northern Consensus Movement have agreed to call off the food embargo imposed on the South over alleged attacks on their members. Leadership of the union took the decision following an extension dialogue and deliberation with the Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello at the State Governor's Lodge in Abuja. The groups were led by the AFCON President Dr. Mohamed Taher, with former Minister of Aviation Chief Femi Kayode was in attendance at the meeting. Dr. Tai and chairman of the union across the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory and other critical stakeholders had earlier met with Bello before another meeting with the Chief of Staff to the President, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. The Duke of Edinburgh has undergone a successful procedure for a pre-existing heart condition, Buckingham Palace has said. The palace said the Duke would remain in hospital for treatment, rest and recuperation for a number of days. Philip, 99, has already spent 16 nights in hospital. He was being treated for an infection and moved to St. Bartholomew Hospital in London on Monday for test and observation of his heart condition. Crowd gathered in Mandalay on Thursday for the funeral of a 19-year-old woman who was shot dead during Myanmar anti-coup protest a day earlier. Kanshi, known as Angel, was wearing a t-shirt with a face, "Everything will be okay," when she died. Tributes have flooded in on social media, with many calling her a hero. Since the February 1st military coup, Myanmar has been gripped by protests demanding the release of detained elected leaders. More than 54 people have died since the protest began, according to the UN Human Rights Office, although other reports put the figure much higher. UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, Michelle Bachelet, called on security forces to halt their vicious crackdown on peaceful protesters. And in the world of sports, Super Eagles coach Gernot Rohr is under pressure to drop his captain Ahmed Musa from the African Cup of Nations qualifiers against Lesotho and Benin Republic later this month. Musa has been without a club since quitting Saudi side Al Nassr in October 2020. He has, however, continued to enjoy the support of Rohr, who invited him for the double-header qualifying games against Sierra Leone in Benin and Freetown, respectively, last November. Many Nigerians on social media have, however, asked the France-German drop the 28-year-old and invited players who play regularly for them on their team. To wrap up the news at 2, you learn from failure more than from success. Don't forget that you can also watch us live on this platform, Apple, Roku, Facebook and Android devices. You can also watch us live on OGTV website, www.ogtv.com.ng/live, or email at info@ogtv.com.ng. Many thanks for staying with us at News at 2. Good afternoon.